couple weeks in, what have you learned about your team?
You know, this team is competitive and combative. You know, these guys are a little feisty, man. They want to get after one another, and again, it's a good mix of veteran leadership, man, and some youthful exuberance. I mean, we got some young guys, man, that you know want to make an impact, but right now, I mean, these guys are having to learn how to play at the speed, tempo, and really full-time execution that's needed and necessary in this conference. And believe me, we're getting better every day, but there's still a lot of growth. Still a lot of growth to happen.
Is getting off plays quicker from the line of scrimmage, is that an emphasis this year?
Absolutely. It's not just getting off plays, but it's about getting off plays efficiently. You know, are we lined up? Can we stay on sides? You know, can we get the snap? You know, man, and be able to have a functional play. That's part of how we have to be able to, you know, tempo ourselves, you know, change tempos when we need to, and at the end of the day, learn how to execute better in stressful situations. So this is just it's all you know, creating muscle memory and trying to become a better, you know, offensive football team and getting our defense ready to line up and play football in this conference, because you see a lot of it.
Coach, NFL draft right around the corner. Can you make me a sales pitch on Juwan Williams and what makes him special as a player entering the draft?
Yeah, you know, I mean, Juwan is a once-in-a-decade player, you know, for a defensive coach. When you look at, you know, I mean, those types of players, man, that have length, athleticism, you know, I coached one. I coached one in the prior decade when I got to Stanford in 2010. Had a chance to work with Richard Sherman, and now I'm working, you know, with Juwan Williams. And I can say, man, they both have the same hunger. They both have the same, you know, propensity to play the game. But the biggest thing about Juwan is that, you know, like for him, man, he stayed home. Could have went to Alabama, could have went to LSU, and decided to stay home. And, you know, when I looked at his play count last year, he played 916 snaps. When I look at his career totals, man, that dude's played, you know, man, close to 2,700 snaps. Okay, like in his career here at Vanderbilt University. That's a lot of football. So when you start talking about guys, you know, who have played football, guys that are ready in 3 years, and we're talking about a guy that didn't play high school football, so his ceiling is extremely high. He hasn't tapped it out, and he's only getting better. You know, I mean, I've had more scouts and coaches say to me, man, this dude has a chance to be a special guy. And I believe him because I've seen those guys. So Juwan Williams is going to be a first-day take, in my opinion, just based on the simple fact that he's fast enough, he's long enough, but he's competitive enough. And if you go back and look at his SEC resume, he's been able to do it as good as anybody.
Are there any names that have stepped out for you in terms of your defense right now that maybe you didn't expect at the beginning of spring?
You know, I'll talk about, you know, Dio. You know, I think he's played lights out. Drew Birchmeyer getting better. He's finally starting to show, you know, what he is. College football is a junior-senior sport, and I continue to say it, but we have to be better up front. It's a line of scrimmage game, and that's where I think we have to make our biggest headway. I'm really impressed by the consistency of the defensive line. Even though we got some young guys there, we're more athletic, we're strong. We're starting to see, you know, like some of that show up for us. And I'd really have to say, you know, what I'm seeing from Dante Carrier-Williams, you know, outside, you know, in terms of what he's doing. Elijah Hamilton's a little more consistent. And those inside backers continue to get better. I'm starting to see better pad level, better strike, and the ability to find the football. And that's what you got to be able to do in this conference in order to play good football.
Derek, have you seen some improvements out of Riley Gay going from year one to year two of him being, you know, the primary kicker?
Yeah. You know, man, Riley's not in his own head. You know, like right now he just kicks the ball. Listen, if he misses one, he has a propensity to come back, and he's been way more consistent. This is the first time I've seen him this consistent, okay, like in the spring, but I really attribute it to like having experience and growing up. You know, he's going into his third year. He's a junior, so when you get to, you know, like your junior year and you kicked a little bit as a freshman, as a sophomore, it's time for you to stand up. So that's where he is.
When the issues are primarily, you know, on the mental side, because you see it in practice that he can hit those kicks, and then in the games it doesn't necessarily translate. I mean, what is the solution? It's not more practice necessarily, is it?
No, it's not practice. I think what he's getting from Coach Fitzsimmons. Coach Fitzsimmons is a different dude when it comes to special teams. His energy is infectious, and he's a dude. He's going to put pressure on him to play better. He's going to put pressure on him in practice to make the kicks, and that's exactly what he's doing. I think for him now, he's settling into the simple fact that that criticism is part of the game, but the thing you can't do is get inside your own head. So he's better.
Taking into account that you've got Cochran out today, that Bryce Bailey's out for the spring, how do you feel about your tackles and your pass protection on the whole?
You know what? These guys are getting meaningful reps. It's one thing to get 6 or 7 reps like in a period. These guys are almost having to take all the reps. When I look up and I see Steen and Stewart, who are guys who have tremendous potential, but need the reps to get better. Every day I see something from these guys that lets me know that they got a chance to be special early.
How do you feel about your quarterback situation right now?
And the quarterback situation is what it is. It's competitive. I'm not putting anybody on the pedestal right now. Man, we're going to take this thing all the way to fall camp. What I do see, man, is guys pushing each other. They know and understand everybody's watching. When the media watches, their teammates are watching, and the one who leads the best, the one who can move the ball the best, is the guy that's going to be the quarterback. It's that simple.
Thank you, Derek.
You got it. Take care.